Hello and welcome to Arguing Ever After. I'm Luke and this is my wife, Amber.
Hello.
Together we are the Lord and Lady who lock horns,
The Count and Countess of Contention,
the Duke and Duchess of Disagreement,
and the King and Queen of Quarrels.
We have been together since the world premiere of the fantastic movie Con Air, starring Nicolas Cage.
In this podcast, we will bicker about all things, big and small, and the audience gets the final say on who the winner is.
Many of our topics are frequently submitted by our listeners, so if you have something you want us to battle over before you try it at home, please send it to us at arguingeverafter@gmail.com.
Perhaps this completely unscientific method of letting the masses decide who is right will help you solve your fight before you even have it.
And so here we are at episode number 18.
18, that's pretty awesome.
Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If you were like counting in years, you'd be like old enough to do some stuff.
Some stuff, yeah.
Not all the stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be 21 for all this stuff.
No, you gotta be 27.
27?
Isn't that how old you have to be to rent a car?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think it's 25 in most places.
Yeah. Isn't 27 you get to be on your own insurance, or you have to be on your own insurance? That's really fun for people, so never mind. We won't talk about that.
I have no idea. Yeah, we're not talking about insurance today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're going to talk about? Planes, trains, and automobiles, minus the trains and automobiles.
Okay, fair.
Also, that was a great movie.
It was.
John Candy.
Was also Steve somebody. Well, I don't remember his last name. What hair guy?
Steve
Martin?
Martin?
Yeah.
I actually don't remember much of the movie, so
okay,
this isn't fair. I don't think he was in that. I almost said Danny DeVito, but that's Throw Mama from the Train, because the word train got into my head. So now I'm just in that random movie association thing my brain does sometimes.
Yeah, there's nothing about trains in this podcast, except for all the things we just said. However, what we are going to be talking about today is like airports and flying.
Yeah, because that's fun and awesome. We're already in full disagreement. 30 seconds in.
Fun. Yeah.
You mean the part where you're there at the place?
Yes.
So you're up for teleportation.
I'm so ready for teleportation.
Me too. When can that happen? I heard something they did there was like a quantum particle beam, like where they intentionally moved a very small thing, maybe like one molecule from one part of Earth to another.
Okay, well, at another episode, we're going to have to talk about teleporting because I have a whole nother story about a guy who did this.
He teleported?
No, but he says he did. So we'll talk about that another time. This one is going to be, like we said, about like airports, flying, stuff like that.
Yes.
This topic has been on our radar for a really long time.
A very long time.
Like it was one of our number one topics that we were going to discuss on this podcast.
That's because airports can bring about high stress.
They can. And every time, or several times when we're looking through the list of what we've had submitted and what we have written, we're always like, ooh, airport, because we know we're going to argue about it.
Yeah.
But I kept saying, wait until we've been somewhere. Maybe we'll have some new antics we can share, some fresh opinions.
And we probably certainly do. We just went to Florida, hence the shirt.
Yeah.
Of the cute little Florida orange bird.
I love that bird. He's so cute. Yeah. So
I should have wore the other orange bird shirt that I have. That thing is something.
That is brighter than the sun. But we did. So we just did recently come back, and so based on that was our commitment to doing this topic. It felt like time to do so.
Mm-hmm. So first off, I'd just like to give a shout out to the Wright brothers. I know we've talked about them maybe once before when we talked about the state of North Carolina, but I'm real happy those guys decided to do what they did back in the day and get us the magic of airplanes.
You know what I think is so funny is that you've mentioned them multiple times and they're nowhere in my
It's a big deal.
Stream of consciousness.
I mean, think of what that did to the planet.
A lot. I agree.
Yeah. Like amazing stuff. It made it so that you weren't just limited to where your feet and car and boat could go. You could go so much faster.
I guess when I mean, those are clearly very famous pilots, but when I think of famous pilots, I think of Amelia Earhart.
Hold on. Not pilots. Let's be clear.
Aren't they?
inventors.
Sure, but they flew the plane. Aren't they the first
They
pilots?
invented the airplane.
I understand, but they flew it, didn't they?
Of course they flew it.
So that would make them pilots.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, but you don't relegate them to the pilot class. They made the airplane. That's like saying the person that, I don't know, captained a ship, they were like, oh,
I'm the captain.
the guy who invented the boat is just a guy that captained. No, he invented the boat.
I understand, but that doesn't
That's
make him not a
important.
captain.
Well, I mean, okay, agreed.
Makes him the number one captain.
But that person gets classified as an epic inventor of huge historical significance.
Sure, but I'm saying both can be true.
Well, okay.
So you're thinking
fine.
invention, which is fine. I'm thinking that they flew in the flipping air.
Okay, whatever with your non-zero sum game. That's fine. You're right. You're not wrong. They flew. They were captains.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Sounds
And then
good.
there was that other one who was like America's grandpa or whatever who landed into the Hudson. What was his name?
America's grandpa. Are you talking about recently?
Yeah.
Sully?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knew him. So like those are the two famous pilots I got.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Let's talk about movies instead, because I like movies.
Okay.
Because your historical references clearly bother me.
Wow.
You're just talking about people that flew planes once. Like, what? Oh, okay, cool.
Whoa. What? People who flew planes once? Amelia Earhart, kind of a big deal.
Oh, okay.
This Captain Sully, I feel like he flew it way more than once to be able to expertly land in the Hudson River.
He did expertly land in the Hudson
So
River.
I feel like they flew it more than once.
That's true.
So,
Okay.
you want to talk about movies? Let's hear it. Luke?
I want to talk about the movie Airplane. Because
Okay.
that movie was hilarious.
Was hilarious.
They did some stuff in that movie that would not work well in today's movie world or
Not even a little.
Current social climate, let's say.
Not even a little. No.
Because it was mostly like super sexist and racist.
Yes.
But for its time, that was acceptable and it was hilarious.
It was hilarious for its time. Yes. But yeah, it would not.
Who was the guy in the flight control tower? Was it?
I don't remember.
It wasn't Leslie Nielsen because there was a moment in one of the Naked Guns, I think, where he was like in a flight control tower and he was losing his mind, but it was a spoof off of this guy who I can't remember his name. He was an older guy, white hair, and he was like spilling his coffee everywhere and shorting out circuit boards, and that was hilarious too.
Yeah. There were lots of funny moments, but it definitely wouldn't fly today.
Oh my goodness, bringing the jokes. Here we go.
I was going to say it a little bit earlier, but then you were like chatty freaking Kathy here. and
Yeah, I
was
had
like,
to set you up for the right timing. You're
Well,
welcome.
it would have been better a little bit
Well,
earlier, but
that's
that's
what
okay.
you think.
That's okay. No, I liked that movie. I've seen it a few times. I would not recommend it to much of the world today if you haven't already seen it, because then you're already desensitized to
Yeah.
all of
There's a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Especially a lot of those spoof movies. But yeah, I liked it back then. I probably would still laugh at it today, and I would maybe feel bad about laughing.
You probably would.
Yeah.
You also, much like the woman who was losing her mind on that plane, you would be like that woman if you were in a small enough airplane, losing your mind. Okay. You don't like small airplanes.
I don't like any airplanes.
I know one time we flew on I don't even know what they call them. It wasn't like a regular sized airplane.
Puddle jumper?
No, it wasn't. I think a puddle jumper is like a one propeller airplane. But it was very small. Like it had one row on one side of the plane of seats and two rows of seats on the other side of the plane. And there was only like maybe 16 or 20 rows. It was real small. And we got in the plane and you were like, oh no.
Get me off this
This
thing.
is not good. That would have been a good time to have some of that. What's that motion sickness thing that makes you sleepy? Dramamine.
Yeah, knock me out.
That would have been a good
Yeah.
moment for some of that for you.
You know, we should maybe do that when I get to the airport. Like, just have like, I don't know.
Just dose you up on Dramamine and go night-night.
Yeah, let me sleep through
I'm
it.
ready to try it next time we take an airplane.
Although the last couple times, I don't think I've been bad. I will say I like the invention, and now this is where we're going to sound old,
Uh-oh.
of having like your own personal thing to listen to or watch, like
mean
on your phone.
smartphones or
Yeah,
tablets?
smartphones. But I mean, like that back in the day, I remember when there'd be like one big movie screen way up at the front of the
Yep.
plane, and everybody was watching that one big movie screen.
Or you brought like headphones or earplugs or something. You could have brought a Walkman back in the day.
Could have brought a Walkman.
But you
yes.
didn't have a screen. There was that
No.
you couldn't. I don't think there even was such a thing yet, except for like giant laptops, which I don't think anyone would have had in normal personal use back in the day.
And they weren't going to be playing anything.
Right.
I mean,
'Cause
maybe Oregon Trails.
you weren't getting on the internet.
Yeah,
There was no internet in the sky. Now there is.
Yeah, now there is.
There was phones in the seats. I remember, I think once, maybe in my life, I paid whatever the fee. It was like a lot. I think it was like $10, which was at the time some insane amount, to like call someone and say, "I'm calling you from the airplane. Ha ha, how cute."
Wow.
I did that.
I don't ever remember seeing airplanes on the phone or phones on the airplanes.
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane. But
You don't remember they were in the headrest?
No.
And it wasn't, I think it was like one, like if you were in a seat block of 3, I think like one of them had a phone.
Yeah, I didn't fly very much as a kid. I think I flew like twice before.
Well,
I
when we
was
started
18.
flying, I mean, in our 20s, early 20s, I mean, they still had ashtrays in the airplanes. You couldn't smoke because they had like recently, I think, outlawed it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. We should have looked that up, but
I
I bet
did.
you it's like, oh, did you?
Funny
Why
should
don't you tell
mention.
us?
Okay, so on domestic flights, it became an issue, and people stopped allowing smoking on planes on domestic flights in 1988. But it officially became a policy in 1990. However,
Okay.
international flights, you can continue smoking on international flights until 2000.
That checks out. Why sometimes the airplane would have a smoke smell and you'd be like, man.
I feel like there are still people smoking on planes because it
Well-
smells like that in the bathrooms. You go in there.
Not so much anymore. Now we got the vaping.
I'm telling you. I mean,
Really? I
last-
haven't smelled smoke in an airplane bathroom in a long time.
Do you go to the bathroom on the airplane very often?
Sure, when I have to go to the bathroom on an airplane.
I go every time I'm on an airplane.
That's good. Okay.
And I will tell you, a good half the time it smells like someone's been smoking in that bathroom. What I find funny is that they're like, we can't have smoking on a plane. Now, again, I don't think you should smoke on a plane, but they're like, we can't have smoking on a plane because it could cause a fire.
Is that the reason?
That's what they say inside the bathroom. They're like, don't do it, you could cause a fire. Well, literally, there was people when you were flying back in the 1980s, 70s, whenever, like the whole plane was on freaking, everybody was smoking into these teeny tiny ashtrays.
Having a regular old bonfire in there.
Yeah, I don't think people should. It would be pretty awful, I'm sure, for everybody on the plane, except for the ones who are smoking. But I'm not condoning that. My point is, I just think that, can we just say it's maybe because of Clean Air Act or something?
I'm in.
Like, let's not lie, because how did
in Minnesota, you can't smoke like basically anywhere anymore.
True, a lot of
And
places.
the whole country of Mexico outlawed smoking. You remember that?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
found that out last time we were there. It was like, I think they said it was like illegal to literally smoke in public anywhere,
No, you could in the street.
but not on the sidewalk.
Right.
So while driving, but not.
Right. But this isn't a smoking episode, so
That's true.
yeah. But it was just one of those things that has changed on airplanes since, in my lifetime, and yours.
For sure.
But there's been a lot of changes to airports too.
That's very true.
In my lifetime, I remember when my aunt would come out from California.
Yep.
And we would go right up to the gate.
Yep.
And just wait.
Didn't even need ID. Just
Nothing. I feel like my dad had to leave his knife in the car.
that's the thing. Hey, don't bring your knife, but everything else is fine.
Everything else is fine. But yeah, he'd have to leave that in the car. Other than that, you just walk through metal detector,
Right.
which,
and they let you have beverages,
sure, why not?
but not anymore.
I don't remember bringing them onto planes because they also used to, service on planes was a little different than it is now.
That's true.
Maybe flying back in the 1900s was more of a experience, whereas now it's a transportation, and you're
Right. It's clearly become a method of transportation, and the airline companies are not interested in your comfort.
right. Well, and like back in the day, it seemed like stewardess, which aren't stewardess anymore,
Flight attendant.
Right. Their job was more to serve you, whereas now they're like, hey, we're safety patrol. Like,
Yeah.
essentially, we're here to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get you something to drink and maybe no more peanuts.
No.
No more peanuts, but maybe you'll get pretzels or something I love is those little cookies.
Oh yeah, the little ginger crunchy ones.
Yeah.
Biscoff.
So good.
That's what they're called.
So
Those are
good.
future potential sponsor Biscoff. Y'all want to
Oh,
send us
yeah.
some free samples?
We love those
I am
cookies.
down for
And
that.
I used to turn them down for a really long time. And then finally one day we had not gone and we didn't have time to stop to get a snack or anything beforehand. And I was dying for something on the airplane. I said, fine, I'll try your dry, crusty cookies. Wrong.
Delicious.
I was like, how many times have I thrown these away or turned them down? Just wrong.
Yep.
They're so good. I like them. I'm a believer in those cookies personally.
That is a change for the better, I think. In airplane snacks.
Well, that one. I mean, I feel like you used to get a lot more.
I think they gave you like a whole meal.
I do remember sitting on a plane when I was really young and having a meal on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'd ask you. It wasn't very good, though.
There was one we went, I don't remember what plane it was, but they had like an option for, maybe it was included. I can't remember. It was like a little quarter or a half a sandwich. And whatever I got was actually pretty good. Like I was surprised. I could tell there were quality ingredients. It wasn't just like a sandwich out of a vending machine. It was like a good sandwich.
I think there's a difference from where we fly to where other people fly. Like, the section of the plane, because I'm pretty sure up in first class, they're getting meals we have to buy if we want.
Probably. Yeah, we're not first class people.
No, we're not. Not yet.
Well, I'm okay not being a first class
I
person.
mean, so I did one time fly in first class.
Is it really that much better?
It's pretty legit.
Is it?
I mean, okay.
Okay.
Is it worth whatever the difference is that I won't even look at? Probably not. I don't have that kind of money to think about.
I would pay more for a better seat cushion. That's my whole deal. Those things are, I remember airplane flights not being horribly uncomfortable.
Well,
But now, man, those seats are like, it's like sitting on concrete.
that's how all seats seem to be. Like car seats.
I guess,
and
yeah,
things
car
like that.
seats too have gotten less cush.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the wrong word. Plush? Is that the right word? That's the right word.
Yeah. I just don't think it's not a priority anymore, comfort in travel. And again,
Which
the
is
difference.
a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no longer about the luxury of travel, like that being the event. The event is not the seat in the
You know what had the
airplane.
best seats? I was just thinking about this. Conversion vans. Those vans that they
Oh, those were ridiculous.
basically was like they had couch seats
Yeah.
in them. Like it was like a recliner built into the. I'd probably fall asleep driving one of those.
Yeah. Well, good news is
We don't have one.
we don't have one. I don't.
I
think you
wouldn't be
can buy
opposed to
one.
getting one at some point.
Oh, a conversion van?
To drive, like, do some cool cross country tripping or something like that.
No.
No, I won't because your phase is not in. But we have talked about RVs.
Right, very different. You should get a different vehicle. A conversion van feels like a really weird way to travel cross country.
We would put some miles on an RV because we like to travel. And we've been, I can't even, this is messed up. But if you ask me right now how many times we have flown somewhere, I actually don't know the number. We're
neither.
we're blessed to have been many places,
Right.
many times. So we've been on a lot of flights and been through a lot of different airports. Some mostly for good reasons. Some for
Yeah.
not so fun reasons, family events where someone has passed and they live far away. And but for the most part, our flights have been for pleasure.
Yes. Yes.
And we, I think, started flying on the regular when we got married. I'm pretty sure. Did we start before that, maybe?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure we started a little bit before that.
I don't think so.
Because I remember flying right before a certain big event that changed airport security forever.
Oh, yeah, that's 2001.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh. We
So-
got married in 03.
Yeah. A lot of Luke's family is from the East Coast, so anytime he wanted to go see them, we would hop a plane. Every rare once in a while we'd drive, which is a whole nother topic one day we'll discuss.
That's in it. We have a driving episode.
Yep.
That's been locked in since the beginning, just like airports.
Yes. But no, so we've been through a lot of airports in
It's probably over 50.
I will say I think that my
Is it that
anxiety
many times?
I don't know. 50? That sounds excessive.
Well, if it was let's say it's since 2000, it's 2025. Oh. Do you think we've averaged twice a year? I bet it's close to
On
that.
an airplane in general, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to go there and back.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of like that. And plus, we used to do, now we have the luxury of on purpose doing nonstop only. But back in the day, it used to be what's the cheapest, and there was always a connecting flight.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes like connecting flights.
I don't.
Just
get me there.
A smaller amount of time on a plane for me is actually good. But I think that my anxiety on planes has definitely gotten better. I used to be so, like, panicked about them. And, I'm glad that I'm not quite there. It's not, it's not my favorite thing to do. But I can.
You are still cute. If there's turbulence, you like grab my hand.
If you're awake, you sleep through every
Oh, no,
flight.
you wake me up if there's turbulence and grab my hand. It's cute.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to wake you up, Well,
Well,
but somehow you'll save me from the turbulence.
yeah, for sure. No problem. Our kid, too. If there's bad turbulence, she's worried. She'll grab my hand. It's cute.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, but we have differences in how we travel together. One of the things that we were going to talk about this actually last week.
Oh.
However, I said, hold off.
Hold off.
Because I had known about something that you didn't know about at the time.
Okay.
We usually always travel together.
That's true.
At one point in time, I had traveled alone once on an airplane ever in my life.
Are you talking about Louisiana?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So anyhow, I had quite the trip. It was amazing. The flight scenario was bonkers.
Uh-oh.
And it was bonkers. It was a bunch of setbacks, a bunch of follies, like just unbelievable things coming back that had happened.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's a story.
it's a story. And I thought it was a story. And everybody I've told the story thought it was a story.
For sure.
And I listened to this podcast.
Okay.
Do you mind if I talk about this right
Go
a
ahead.
second? Okay.
Yeah.
So I listened to this podcast that I really love. It's called Petty Crimes.
Okay.
And they ask people to submit, some sort of wonky antics or, petty crimes is what they're looking for.
So
letters.
it's not actually a crime.
Well, sometimes it is.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
But not all
But they
the
were
time.
asking for, and they always do, just kind of like we ask for people to write in, topic ideas. They ask for, hey, send us your petty crime and we'll talk about it. And they'll read, they'll read whatever the letter is and talk about the scenario. And they have opinions, obviously, about the people who are in the letter.
For sure.
A lot of times they're telling a lot of jokes about the person who writes the letter,
Sure.
And I had this just absurd scenario that happened. I thought, I've got to write this into these folks because I love them. They're so funny, are hilarious. I wrote into them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, months and months ago.
Okay.
And then we start our podcast.
Yep.
And I saw this topic on there and I was like, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have given away that great story.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to keep it listening and see if they ever use it. Well, they didn't. And then we go on our trip.
Yeah.
And right before our trip, I'm like, well, we're clearly going to talk about airports in our next podcast.
Yeah.
And I write them a letter.
Yeah.
And I say, if you're not going to use it,
By
that's
the way, I'm
fine.
going to just point out again, write them a letter.
An
It's
email,
called
email, So I write them an email and I say, hey, by the way, I know I gave you the story. Haven't heard on this
You got
podcast.
people out here thinking you got a pen and paper out.
No, I typed it. So me and my husband have started our own podcast. This is a phenomenal story to me. Maybe it's too long for you, and that's fine. If you're not going to use it, I'd like to use it on our podcast because it's a great story. Well, we go on our trip, come back, and they're like, oh, by the way, they respond to me, so glad that you emailed us because we did just record the episode with your letter onto
Email.
the show. Did I say letter?
You did.
It doesn't matter. However, whatever. It's the same basic concept.
It's so funny that you're saying letter.
Same concept.
Anyway.
Anyhow, so they said, yep, or the producer. Wow, look at
Hey.
me talking to producers
Shout out to Petty Crimes getting us up there. Come
via
on.
email.
Yep.
But, I'm talking to producers.
Do we get a mention? Can we get a mention?
Well, I don't know. But what I'm going to do right now is just say, after we got back, about a week ago, they sent me the email saying that they had recorded it. They had a great time with my letter. And they're like, it's on our Patreon. And I was so excited. As soon as it dropped, I listened. I couldn't stop laughing.
Did they make it like funnier than what yours was? Or like
Oh, my letter was hilarious because I am pretty freaking funny.
I did not say you weren't with your face.
That's kind of what I heard.
Moly.
Anyhow, but it was really funny and it was fun to hear because I didn't know how much they were going to drag me. Because they can do that. You're like, hey, here's my thoughts, and
Yeah.
they're going to have their opinions about it. But I thought that it was very nicely done, and they only had a few little critiques about things.
But
maybe
did
I
they
could have done
side with
differently.
you?
Yes. Yes.
That it wasn't cool for you to have run across the entire airport to get there in time?
That was one of the problems I had. I gave them
Well,
the
that to me was
whole
the
story.
biggest thing.
What? Really?
Where they were like, oh yeah, you can't actually get on the plane. We sold your seat to someone else. And you were like, but I'm here and I have the ticket. Here's the ticket.
Right. No, that was not the worst part to me. But it's funny.
What's the worst part to you?
So I'm not going to go too much into detail
Okay,
because
that's
it's
fine.
like an hour-long discussion, and
Yeah,
we're
let's
actually
not
talking
do
about
that.
something else. But I would encourage anyone who is listening who is curious, reach out. Maybe we'll talk about it another time, or listen to Petty Crimes on the Patreon to hear the episode. It was just released. It's hilarious, and I would encourage you to do that. So, but I wanted that story for our podcast.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking, we don't need that story.
That's fine.
We can use it whenever we want because it is
We
my
have
story.
lots of crazy stories. We've had to deboard a plane.
I don't remember deboarding.
Oh yeah, that was the time when we were going to. It might have been our last Florida trip before Child arrived, where we got rerouted. Our flight was supposed to go to Fort Myers, and they had to take us off the plane because there was
perfect
there was
for
like a
us.
broken part of the plane or something. But we had sat on the runway for like an hour.
I remember this now.
And then they made us get off the plane. They're like, that plane's not flying today. That's literally what they said. We were like, what? Oh my goodness.
This
And then-
bird's done.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we were like, good. I'm glad we got off the plane and found out before we were in the air. Anyway, and then we got on another flight, but we were really mad because they made us to get to our destination on time. In our case, I don't know if this was everybody, but we had to go to Tampa, which is like 2.5 hours north of Fort Myers.
Right.
So that was one of the times we had a sort of a crazy thing happen to us.
We've had, I would say in general, we don't have too many crazy things that happen to
True.
us.
Well, the craziest one that ever happened to me was the one in Arizona.
Yeah.
Where, oh my goodness, they just kept, plane after plane after, no, we're not flying this one. You got bumped off of this one, bumped off of that one. I ended up sleeping in the airport.
Yeah, you did.
It was terrible.
Well, and I think it's interesting because we both have different times where we're not feeling or being our best selves in that travel if we're flying, right?
That was eloquently put.
I know. So I want to say, like, in levels of emotional unrest. Like, for me, it's totally on the plane. I'm a freaking nervous wreck. I just want to get off the plane as soon as possible. I don't want to hear anyone talking about bad things on a plane. I don't want to see a movie or anything like that about a plane.
Yeah.
Nothing. Don't. I can't even
No
stand
snakes?
to hear. Well, I'd rather have snakes on the plane versus what my brain is doing in imagination. But I hate when they come out with the safety card and they're like, "Oh, these are the things." I'm like,
In
don't
the
tell
event
me.
of a water landing, and
don't
you're
tell
like,
me these
"No!"
things. Right. I'm just like, I don't want to ever think that that's a possibility, you know.
Right.
So that's where I'm just completely at unease. And Luke, a little different place.
Yeah, I get a little bit hot at the airport
Yeah.
before the plane part happens.
Yes.
And this has been a thing since forever.
The whole time we've been together.
Probably maybe my whole adult life. And it all just hinges around, do we have enough time? That's kind of like, I think a lot of my life is like that because I don't like being late for anything really. Well, okay, you're shaking your head, but for the most part, I'm sure there's exceptions, but for like, I'm not a person who wants to get up at the last minute to go to work. I like to have some, a nice, comfortable lead time. So if I work at like 8 or 9 in the morning, I want to get up at like 5 or 6 and
That's
have
bonkers.
Well, but for me, I feel comfortable with that because then I don't need to feel like I'm in a rush. I could just have everything work out real nice. And I think it's like that, not just for, I like to get to movies a little bit early. Like I don't want, like, you know how you got 20 minutes of previews or 30 minutes of previews and the movie starts at 7? I don't want to get there at 7. I want to get there at like 6:45 because then I feel like I got time to, do the pre-movie stuff before. I don't know. I like being to places generally a little bit early. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that being something you like, right? I will say, like, if you just lived in your own bubble, that would be fine. However, almost all the time when you're traveling, you aren't traveling alone.
That's true.
And you want the whole world to be how you are.
More of a like a need.
A need.
Yep.
Do you understand the difference between a want and a need?
I do.
Okay. You would like everyone to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
which at the time you want to do it. So let's say we have a 8 a.m. flight. Okay, we never have an 8 a.m. flight. You like to fly at 6 in the morning. You're like, we need to be up 4 hours before the flight to be at the airport, all these things, and all of that. I personally don't think you need to get up that much earlier if you're prepared the day before, like it just the whole, you're frantic.
And
Sometimes not very nice in your franticness. Not sometimes, all the time, very unkind.
well, it's a known sum, and I'm a predictable person.
I don't know about that. I mean, like, I think that
It's definitely predictable.
I mean, it's predictable, but it's like you're not usually as easy to set off as I know when we're flying. That you're going to just be. It's like kind of just steer clear out of Luke's way.
I mean, you're making me sound like I'm some sort of anger
I'm not saying that.
problem person. I just want to be clear that I'm not.
Not saying
We're talking about
that.
getting anxious and bitchy. We're not talking about getting mean and.
Sure, 4-letter words. Or
That's
five.
a 5
Or
and
5.
6-letter word if you add the Y on the end.
Yeah.
And they say it on TV now, so
Well,
it's fine.
Yep. I mean, I will. So anyhow, you're wanting everyone to do your way. And I'm like, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm on vacation, it starts immediately after my last second of work. So if that's a day before at 5 o'clock, I'm done. Then at 5:01, I'm like, I'm on vacation,
I like that.
Yeah. And so I feel even before I get to the airport and when I'm at the airport, I'm not on vacation in the airplane. That is not a vacation.
That doesn't count.
But every other moment around that, I'm on vacation. So I feel good. I feel cheery. I feel just at ease. And I'm a pretty easy person on vacation.
I'm fine with everything except if we're late.
Well, okay. Luke, let me ask you a question.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment I have been waiting for all night. In this corner, claiming to weigh in at 125 pounds, we have the red-haired, spicy Amber. Go ahead.
He's ready. And
I'm heated, people.
He's so heated. I don't know why he's so heated. He'll maybe reveal it during the show. But in this corner, we have Luke, who is wearing, seriously, I think this is such a bird, such a cute shirt. The orange bird from Florida. He's just makes me happy. The bird.
Check out the video, people. The bird's cute.
Yeah, he's really cute. Anyhow, we have Luke, and he is claiming to weigh in at over 185 pounds. I don't know how much less than that. Got a nice beard here. I think if I tickle it, he might be a little nicer to me. Oh, no, I was wrong. We are also a little contentious today, I think, because there is no clear winner on our debates. We are at a tie again.
Maybe it just means we either pick good topics that people are into or we're good at arguing.
Or we're bad at arguing.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I feel like I would not want to get in the ring with you or me if I was any of the people I know. No offense to any of the people I know.
Most people aren't willing.
I'm
They
just
walk
saying
away.
we're like pro-level arguers.
Yeah, most people, or they'll just
I got
be quiet.
points and counterpoints on stuff I don't even know about yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, great. So talking about things you don't even know about,
What?
the question I have for you
Okay.
is, Luke, do you...
Out with it now.
So, wow, he's even impatient
Okay,
right
fine.
now. It's like we're about to go fly somewhere. Luke
I'm
is
ready.
showing
Let's
up.
go somewhere.
Is there... Okay, so do you have to get to the airport 2 hours before your flight? Why? And do you?
No problem explaining the answer to that.
Not why, do you?
First of all, yes. Yeah. Because pretty much all of the airports, for a point of clarity, that are international airports, recommend that that's when you get there. They do. That is a recommend. 1.5 to 2 hours is the recommendation at Minneapolis International Airport, which is like probably one of the smaller ones.
What?
For Minneapolis versus versus Chicago, New York. Like we're a big metro to us, but we're a small metro to the rest of the country. So if you get me to I might add some time onto that. If you were in LA or New York, I might be like, we need to put another half hour on there. And then they add time if you're flying internationally, which we've done also many times. You're supposed to add another half an hour for customs. So the answer is yes, you should get there super early. And because in our house, there's a specific reason. It's because if we don't, I am a hot mess. I mean, I want to have everything lined up. We got to know when's the transportation showing up to our house to pick us up, or are we driving to the airport? I got to know that because it changes when we leave. Also, I got to know about.
Before.
Sometimes I want to know more than the day before. Also, I gotta plan ahead for traffic. I gotta plan ahead for parking. I mean, I gotta plan ahead for. There's all kinds of stuff, and that's not even you got to the airport yet. How about sometimes you get to the airport and your plane moved? Sometimes you'll get to the airport and you'll think, well, the plane is at gate number H9, and you get there and they'll be like, oh no, it's not. It's at B12, and you're like, what? B12? That's the whole other side of the airport. That's the problem. Because you just had like 15 minutes of walking. How are you going to account for that if you just get there like an hour or an hour and a half early? I'm just saying. And the standard boarding time is 45 minutes ahead. Unless it's an international flight, then it's an hour. So I'm just saying there's a lot of situations going on here where there's a lot of little cracks and holes where if you don't get there with ample time, what if you have a traffic issue? What if you get a flat tire? What if when you are trying to find a parking spot, you can't, and you end up finding a parking spot that's further away, or it's on a different parking level? What if you get into the airport and you have a problem at the security check-in, or it's a busy travel day and you need to like wait in the line way longer? What if when they're checking in your bags, you're over the 50-pound weight limit and you got to move stuff out of one bag into another bag or throw something in the trash, and you got to make a decision about what you're bringing back or what you're leaving? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then how about when you get to the boarding? What if there's a problem boarder? That happens sometimes. I've seen that. Sometimes they'll be boarding and it'll be a problem, and they'll be like mad and causing a scene, and then that slows the whole boarding process down. There's just so many things and so many variables. I could probably go on for hours and hours, but for the sake of the listener, I won't do that. I would just say the answer to this is yes, and this is coming from some seasoned veteran flyers. I mean, if our count is right and we're close to 50 times.
Over 50.
And that would make it way over 50 airplanes, because you add in connecting flights from back in the day and different airports. We've gone through I think we've gone through every major airport in the United States. Whoa.
Do you know what we haven't gone through?
I don't know.
The Denver airport. Have you gone through the Denver airport?
Yeah.
Did you know about that airport?
Yeah. Sky Harbor, isn't that what it's called? No, that's Phoenix. Phoenix is Sky Harbor.
No.
Maybe it's Mile High? No, that's the stadium.
No, it's like DIA or something like that. Denver International Airport. Wow, yep, it's DIA.
You're going to tell me they're the best airport or something.
I'm not going to tell you they're the best airport,
Okay.
but did you know that there's a lot of conspiracies around that
You
airport?
have said this to me. There's like someone lives there. Or...
No. But there's a lot of conspiracy. People were saying like it was built by the New World Order, or maybe it's ran by the Illuminati.
Okay, well, the banter section of this day has been passed, so you know what? We're in debate mode right now.
Oh, wow, you can't talk about anything other than your
I
argument.
can't believe you want to bring up the Illuminati right now. I'm on a roll.
Oh, I thought you were done.
You thought I was done?
Your topics here.
You had to take notes, and
I did have to take notes.
You can't even keep up with how. Listen, what if your taxi was late? What if I could even a little bit right now. I could actually feel my blood pressure and heart rate.
You getting mad.
I could feel almost like the anxiety as if this were to happen, because we've had crazy stuff happen.
Not often,
but enough. Like here, I was so traumatized by I think, what is it, 2019? I don't remember, when I got stuck in the airport in Phoenix. I mean, that made it worse. Because she put me through a couple of bad situations in an airport, and I'm like, well, I know what fixes this. Get here earlier, because that's the answer.
It's not.
Outside of them grounding the plane.
Which they did to you on that that scenario.
Right, that's a different scenario. But most of the time, the problems are related to not getting there on time, which we just had happen when we came back from Florida. We were late. Not because it was anyone's fault. We just didn't plan ahead, and we thought we were going to, oh, you want to think this is my fault. Please, whatever. Anyway, we had met a friend in Florida. We had a great day. We were hanging out, and we just didn't leave in time. We thought we had enough time, and we didn't. And then the traffic was worse than we thought it was going to be. Turning the rental car in was a little bit more problematic than we're used to because it was on like a whole nother floor, and you had to take an elevator and a tunnel to get to the... Anyway, so there was that. And then checking in our bags, feeling already very late because I think we got there like 1 hour ahead of the flight time. And then we did have to do that weight thing where they say you're over 50 pounds. So now you got to move something out of the bag into another bag and then re-weigh it. And then we get to security and go to security, and our daughter forgot to empty her water bottle.
I thought you said the background discussion time was over.
Oh no, I said banter was over. We're in debate mode. I'm giving you reasons why you got to show up early. So when your child forgets that she has water in her water bottle, guess what security says? What's in this water bottle? And you go, water? And they're like, you can't go through security with that. And I'm like, cool, dump it out. And they're like, oh no, it's not that simple. You got to go out back through security, dump it out yourself, and come back through security. And I'm like, well, hold on. What's the difference between just dumping it out right now in front of me? Anyway, they wouldn't let me. So I had to go out of back, all the way around, back to the front of security, dump the water bottle out, come back through security. That adds another, 7-10 minutes, who knows. And then you ride the little tram over. What if the tram doesn't? I'm just saying there's so many things. And then you get over there, and what if the gate moved? I don't think the gate moved on that one. But they did lose one of our bags because of how late we showed up.
No, that's not.
100%.
Actually,
they got 2 of our 3 bags on the plane. But I'm betting you money, real money right now. We'll never prove it, but I bet you a clean 100 that if we'd have got there earlier, they'd have figured it out.
Okay.
And then you get on the airplane. Now I'm done. Okay. Probably, maybe.
You're not, I'm sure.
We'll see.
So just really quickly about that plane,
I'm still mad.
That air, I know you are. This is what I lived with before hopping on a plane every friggin' time. Like, just in, like, I can't even.
But to be clear, that's only if we're not there early enough.
This is not true.
That is true.
I can't even talk to him about anything that is maybe lighthearted or fun or something like that. He's like, no, shut down everything if it doesn't go my way.
That if we get there early enough, I'm actually pleasant.
No, I did not actually say that.
Okay, you sure did.
I'm sure that's not what I said.
Okay, well, maybe that's what our child said.
Because early enough is not necessarily what you and I think are not necessarily the same. Now, back to that lost bag, which is always a problem. It wasn't actually lost because we were late. It was selected for additional screening. And there was a note in there that had been processed, like the TSA had actually looked at that bag. That's why our bag didn't make that flight. Had nothing to do with the other bags.
I bet it had a water bottle in it.
No, actually it had, so you remember we had a few things that were in there that we'd bought as souvenirs that were apparently problematic. And they're like, but everything that you had in here, they said something looked off, but everything that you had in here actually was okay. Oh, okay. So they had inspected our bag, extreme inspection of our bags. So that had nothing to do with it. Now, I don't think you need to be there 2 hours early because personally, I have flown twice on my own, and I was not there 2 hours early. And there was no need. Now, I happen to be I'm not uptight before going on a flight. Because here's the thing, everything's going to happen the way it needs to happen. My getting there 2 hours early, if I've already planned what I'm doing with my vehicle, if I'm parking there, if I'm taking a taxi cab, those decisions are already made. I don't need to leave an extra hour on top of anything on top of that to be at the airport 2 hours early. I don't need to do that. I figured that out. I think part of this is a planning scenario that maybe I do in my head that maybe you don't. Now, the concept of gate changes that you were talking about, getting to the airport, you're like, hey, here it's at gate H, and then you end up going to gate G or whatever. Before I get to the airport, when I'm traveling with you, we don't have our tickets. We don't know what gate we're at, right? We don't know until we get into the airport what gate we're at. So getting there early, if they change that, it's not going to make a difference if I'm past security, if they change the gate, or if I'm not, because they're going to change the gate regardless. And that has nothing to do with that 2 hour or 1.5 hour window. I mean, if they've changed it at an hour and a half out from the flight, I would know that when I got my ticket. Then instead of it saying H, it'd be like, you're at gate G. Great, I'll go to Gatesy. So I'm not understanding this.
Do you want a little update? Because I need to tell you.
No,
you
you
actually
don't. You
get your
actually
gate
don't.
on the boarding pass, which you get mobily before you get to the airport.
Which would be wonderful, but you never give me my boarding pass. You need to hold everybody's boarding pass. So, like, you just...
I've also had a gate change when I was at the gate.
Great. Getting there 2 hours early wouldn't change that, because then that means everybody is going to be going over to the next gate, and there's going to be a delay. A lot of the things you talked about were actually delays.
Deep breathing.
Were actually delays that would have happened whether you got there an hour and a half early, 2 hours early or not, because it happens to be on the other end of it, right? Like if you're talking about things changing at boarding, well, good God, it wouldn't matter if you're there 2 hours early. It's still going to change at boarding, which is according to you 45 to an hour beforehand. So like that is sort of an interesting thing. And you were talking about boarders who would slow down the flight. That's why you also have to get there 2 hours early. That doesn't make any sense, because if there's someone boarding the plane who's slowing down the flight, again, it doesn't matter if you're an hour and a half early or an hour, like to 2 hours. That will make a difference. So I think a lot of what your concerns are, most of them are outside of your control of getting there 2 hours early. And so that's why it doesn't necessarily make you feel any better. But for me, when I get there an hour and a half early, all of these same things could happen or not. And I'm totally fine with either way. What I don't like that we have to do when we go to the airport, one of the many things, is like charge through the airport to go to the gate. And then after we've gotten to the gate, then we can go do other things. Unless...
That's because then we know everything is okay. Unless there's a plane issue.
Right. But I'm like, I know boarding's going to be in, 30 minutes or whatever. The flight's not supposed to take off, because we get there 2 hours early, because you do lose your flipping mind. I'm like, we don't need to, we can just take our time, and, maybe I want to grab some food, or I want to look at a shop, and you're just no go. We must go. And then you can go back. I'm like, well,
hold on, that's not true. We always get food. I eat all the time when I'm at the airport.
We always get food.
And we go to little shops every time.
Right, after you've walked to the gate.
It's because we got there 2 hours early. If you got there a half hour later, you got no time to do it.
Well, no, because I would still just do it on the way to the gate. Instead
But
of
we're
going
not
to
saying
the gate back.
we're not saying airport arrival. We're talking like get to the location.
Yeah.
2 hours early, where you have to park. And so I'm not talking like in the door. I'm talking arrive there, which has always been the thing. Well, it's preferably the thing for me.
Yeah,
I'd take 2.5 if I could get it.
I know you would, and
But
that's
you won't
just
let me.
absurd. I have zero desire to
Sit
rush
in an airport
through.
for another hour.
Well, do you happen to remember the one time that you were like, we must be there 2 hours early, and we get there 2 hours early? This has happened more than once.
Yes.
Because you like to fly early in the morning. You like to be on that first flight in the
That's
morning.
right, I do.
And there's been more than one time where we sat at the airport and the airport wasn't even open.
Yeah.
So, like, they don't even. And these
That's
were even
happened a
international
handful
flights.
of times.
Yeah, a handful of times. And it's just like, we're just sitting here waiting. We can't get past security to go look at anything.
Yeah,
or do
that's like
anything.
when we got there at 5:30 for a 7:30 flight, but the airport opened at 6.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't really see this.
But
like,
how nice is that? You're there.
It's not nice. I could have been at home sleeping for another half hour instead of sitting there just waiting and doing nothing to maybe, distract some of where your anxiety is before the boarding the plane. You're not fine until you board the plane. Once you board the plane, you're like, perfect, no more troubles.
That's true.
My anxiety is once I'm on the plane. So,
But that's coming, like you said, to counter what you were talking about, that's coming regardless.
I agree. But like, I'm just saying I could have more time doing other things than sitting in a flipping airport waiting and running back and
That's
forth.
not true, because the extra 30 minutes you want would be stuck with me losing my mind. That's
right,
what
I
it
could
is.
just wake up later so I don't have to.
Oh, sure.
do
Like,
that.
you think I'd let you sleep?
Anyhow, I think it's ridiculous to be at the airport 2 hours early for most flights. I can see some flights, especially if you know you're going to be traveling internationally. Okay, fine.
Sure.
We're talking about national travel.
I'd say 2.5 if it's international.
We're not even going to have that debate. Thankfully, we don't need to have that debate right now. But I'm saying that's a little bit of overkill. And for our airport, it's not needed. For many airports, you don't even need an hour and a half. But for our airport...
What airports do you not need an hour and a half for?
Ones that we go to out east.
Oh, okay, sure. Like the little,
Right. Yeah, the
like
tiny little
Burlington
ones, right?
or
Right.
Syracuse or...
Or when I went to Baton Rouge, that is a beautiful airport. Super quick.
How many gates did they have?
I don't know, 4.
Yeah, that's, I think, like Burlington had 4, Syracuse had 8,
It
something like
was
that.
so cute, and the people there were so nice, and everything started off so great on
Yeah,
that,
sure.
and then it went extremely
I think the
downhill.
bigger the airport, the more early I want to get there.
I think that I don't really I think yeah, I don't want to. I mean, and now that we have pre-check and all of those things, the concept of getting there so much earlier is just wild to me. So my vote, now that we've done that especially, is that no, 2 hours to our airport for a national flight, or to most people's airports. Okay, I'm gonna say LAX and that horrible one. Is it JFK that I don't like,
There's
or
a couple,
LaGuardia?
yep, both
Both. I don't like
JFK,
either of them.
and DC's got a couple that are rough.
I
Like
don't think they're
Ronald
that
Reagan,
bad.
DCA, that one's tough.
Yeah.
That's the one with those crazy Star Wars looking buses where they have
Oh
like the
yeah.
big
Yeah.
8-foot tall tires and you like drive back and forth. Those are weird.
Right.
I'd actually like to own one of those just to drive it around.
That's interesting. But anyhow, that's my answer. Is 2 hours is excessive most of the time, and I no, I don't think you need to be there that early. I think it just honestly adds to the anxiety of not being able to relax.
Well, then I appreciate that you've already semi-conceded the argument in real life by allowing us to get there early because I am a freak show.
You are a freak show, and if anyone noticed, like
So
someone
I
who's,
appreciate that you
live
have
with that
increased
all
your
the time.
anxiety pre-flight by decreasing my anxiety pre-flight. I appreciate it, but it's pretty rough because I know I'm bad.
You do?
Oh, for sure.
You are not. In,
I'm not.
there is
I'm not.
no self-knowledge.
You don't want to like hang out with me pre-flight.
No,
No, you get, like you said, you get me out of the airplane. It's all good. Now we're on the airplane.
yeah, you're fine.
all good.
It's night and day. I mean, but like I have to live with you from that period to then. It's just
It's also a little rough on the day of the flight, getting the bags to the car and doing the final house check, and I'm a little bit of a mess.
the second you wake up.
The good news is we go on vacation after that part, and then we're there.
Yeah, see I'm
Yay.
telling you. I'm telling you. It's the way I live, it's vacation the moment I'm done with that work for however long. It's nice.
Well, here's hoping our next vacation has a nice 2-hour plus
No.
airport arrival
No.
that gets us to a great, beautiful destination.
We could meet at the airport.
Not in a million years, because then your lack of presence would make my anxiety like even worse. Oh my goodness!
But you could
I'd
then
be
feel
freaking
all
out.
to
What
yourself.
if you're not going to get here on time and
probably-
you're
yeah,
going
I
to miss the
won't. I won't.
flight? And we've
It's
almost
okay.
missed a
I'm
flight
chill.
before.
We have missed a flight before, but that wasn't our
Oh,
fault.
that's right. We got stuck in DC for like 12 hours.
Yeah. I don't know if it was 12.
That was probably my brother's fault.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was the free ride's fault, but I'm not going to be mad. Also, they were like, you can't board the plane. It's an hour until your flight. And we're like, well, I could totally get to that gate within an hour.
Yeah.
It's the thing that drives me bonkers when the air, because this is one of the things that happened. And
They
I was
don't
talking
tell
about
you.
earlier.
They don't tell you. They don't let you try.
Yeah.
They're
but
like, oh, well, you won't make it. You're like, well, I'm fast.
sorry. Yeah, you don't
Watch
know.
me run.
You don't know. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, he was talking earlier about the flight that I had, written into this
From
other
Baton
show.
Rouge.
Yeah. Well, the Baton Rouge was not the problem. Baton Rouge Airport, if you happen to have to fly into Louisiana, is
Oh,
a
no, it was your
beautiful-
connector.
Yeah, it was a beautiful flight. Beautiful. Beautiful flight, beautiful airport. People were so friendly and kind. I still felt like I was being taken care of. It was
That's
just,
because they're just living down there off beignets and crawfish.
I know. Well, anyhow, that was one of the problems was the airport assuming I couldn't make it into a flight that I knew I could make it to. I will Macaulay Culkin, and I have Macaulay Culkin across airports
Yeah.
to make what I need to. But also when I was in Chicago, in that airport, I had to Macaulay Culkin run because
Just
if
like
you're
the movie
in that
scene.
hallway, you need to do it. I should be seeing everybody running up and down that hallway. It was so fun to do. But anyhow, if I can make it, let me make it. Let me try. I want to get on the plane. You want to get on the plane.
Yep.
Like, don't even say I
Plus,
can't.
you paid for the ticket.
Right.
Just
right.
let it happen.
Well, they like to over.
Now you said Macaulay Culkin got me thinking about Home Alone and Christmas.
Oh God, I did. Oh,
That's
no,
your fault.
No.
I love Christmas.
Well, happy November, everybody.
Happy November.
Yes. But anyhow, that's our debate. I don't think you need to be there 2 hours early. Luke does. Vote for whoever seems more reasonable. Me.
Oh, it's for sure me to avoid all the problems and stress.
You're not avoiding any of them. They all still are going to happen.
That's not true.
Based on my notes that I took of
Well,
your
that's because you didn't
problems.
listen to all the things that actually slow you down, like traffic and
So how do they vote for us, Luke?
On Spotify is the real true answer. You can also vote on social media, but we'd
Yep.
like it to get more just to Spotify because it's easier for us to keep track
A
of.
lot easier. Yep.
Yeah.
What should they do?
They should check us out on any of the platforms that they see us on, and then tell their friends that we exist there,
Yes. And
like
what else?
Apple
Yeah.
and Spotify, which we're on right now, and
We're on all the platforms.
iHeart, and I don't know.
You should share this with your friends.
Yeah, and
Share
your
this
family.
with your flying buddies. Download it before a flight.
Yeah, and get there early.
I mean, get there whenever you need to. But share it. Follow us
Yes.
so you can find out when the next great episode is coming out.
It's predictable.
It is. Yes, it is. But you get the reminder, like it pops up on your thing, like, hey, these people are back on. And rate us.
Yes, please. Oh, we're currently 5 stars. I realized that today.
Stars. Well, we can't do it too loud because it'll be, But 5 stars.
Watch now, somebody will just drag us.
Please don't. But, whatever. Comment. We love your comments. We'd love to see what you think about us. And we don't really know how we do until after we listen to it a little bit later. So I'm feeling a little, chill about it. But
I'm excited we got to do microphones. It sounded pretty good on the last podcast.
It sounded really good. Really good. And if you have the ideas, write them in to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wheels up, people. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I just wanna do all